Hello everybody, it is Future Robbie here, coming to you to give you a little bit of an introduction to this video because it was actually filmed back in September of 2018 and I am just now getting to the editing part of this video, sad to say. And those of you who have been, have been faithful to the channel and have subscribed, I apologize for how long it has taken me to start recording videos again. Back at the end of the school year last year, we had a major move. It was something that prevented me from doing end of the year reviews on curriculum, which I really always try to do. Because we're part of a charter, all of our curricula has to be turned in at the end of the year. So because we were in the middle of a move, I couldn't just hold on to it and move it. It was just one of those things that seemed unnecessary at the time. But of course, I didn't get to film any reviews on the curriculum that we used last year. So then come September, I was excited to do the unboxing, but we were dealing with a family member who had some health issues and had started to decline in health pretty rapidly. And so in that time frame, she also did succumb to her illness and she passed on. And so it was my dear mother-in-law. So it was just, family things happen and life happens. And so it just prevented me from really putting the focus on this channel like I had wanted to. It obviously prevented me from editing, that unboxing video as well. So I almost didn't do it actually, since it's so old, but I thought, this is actually the time of year that people are really doing the research on the curricula that they want to use for the upcoming school year. So maybe the timing isn't so bad. We'll see, I guess. But I did want to go ahead and edit the video and show it to you guys so that you could then hopefully be better informed when it comes to making decisions about curriculum if you're considering any of these things. So it's not a full review, obviously, it's an unboxing, but what I know about the curricula that I'm showing, I do share. And then, of course, at the end of the year, I will do full reviews because I don't have to turn those things in just immediately when the school year ends. I can hold on to them as long as we're using them. But, with a move, it seemed kind of silly to move a bunch of stuff unnecessarily. So we didn't do that last year. So I will quit rambling and I will get into the video now. But I did want to give a little bit of an explanation as to why an unboxing video is happening at an odd time of the school year. And thank you guys again for visiting our channel today, and I appreciate it. So, all right, we'll get on with it. Okay, so let's just dive right in here. I pulled everything out of the box just to kind of pre-sort it so it wouldn't be so jumbled, because pulling it right out of the box is actually quite confusing. I have things from Rainbow Resource, I have things from Bookshark, Beautiful Feet, and Timberdoodle. So the first thing is, I think I'll talk about is what came from Rainbow Resource. What I have here is from ShillerMath. I have a supplemental kit. It's fractions only. We used ShillerMath last year. As far as Shiller goes, I didn't need a full math curriculum. I did need the fractions though, because Shiller is a Montessori at home program. It's completely scripted. You don't have to know Montessori to do it. You get all the tools that you need, as well as the books with your kits, but they don't have fractions in their math kits because they pull them separately. So you can start your child in fractions when you feel like they're ready. So I decided to start that this year, and you get these two fraction sets, and I'll just show you what that looks like here. These components here are just the little tiles for each one, and it starts with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. So you've got tenths, ninths, eighths, sevenths, sixths, fifths, blah, 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 all the way down. And each one's a different color. And you get 2 sets of those. And then with that, you get the books and the student manual and the teacher manual all in one. There's an answer guide that's separate, but this is actually a teacher manual as well as a workbook, because the lessons are scripted. So as you go through a lesson, it'll tell you exactly what to say to the student and give them the instructions and tell them what to do. In some cases, they're going to just verbally answer. In some cases, they will write in the book. Some cases, they'll be working with the the tools, and they won't be doing any writing. So it's a really beautiful program. We've been really happy with it. Their big philosophy is it's really truly Montessori, and they use concrete items, concrete teaching methods in order to teach abstract concepts, and it's been a really good fit for us. So, like for instance, I'm just looking at this page here. This is in quotes, so this is literally what you speak to the student, and then they use this as a work page. 1/18th, they color in the 1/18th, then they color in 1/9, so they have to figure out how many units they need to color in to be 1/9, and then they have to indicate which is greater, or with the greater than and less than symbol, so they can easily, once they color in the blocks, they can easily see which one's greater than and which one is less than. And so, I mean, it's just a really awesome way to teach fractions, and so I'm very much looking forward to working in this. All right. So this is what we're using in place of the Timberdoodle options. They have a reason for handwriting, which is a faith-based handwriting, and I can't use that in the charter. So we were using the italic handwriting, which is amazing for learning manuscript, and we really enjoyed it, but I didn't like their cursive. So the Zaner Blosser looked really good to me, and I'm not real sure how to use this. I kind of glanced through it. There's 2 what looks like consumable books. This one's in black and white, and this one is in color. So this says Practice Master, so maybe this is the actual teaching and this is for practice, but I'd like that they include, just learning strokes, practicing strokes. They've got start dots, and this is nice and colorful and looks really fun. So I'm excited to do that with him. So that was what was in the Rainbow Resource. Okay, let's talk about Bookshark. So Bookshark is something we've used in the past for science, reading, and history. And this year I decided not to use it for history, but I am using it for science and for reading. Now this is not phonics. I didn't use this for phonics. We used All About Reading for phonics, but he's finished with that. So this is just reading and literature. So we got the level 2 advanced readers. Now they have level 1, level 2, level 3, but they also have the advanced readers in some of these early grades. And the reason I did that instead of just doing level 3 readers is because of the content in the books. His maturity level is not as high as his reading level. So the level 2 advanced readers seem to be way more appropriate for him, because I want him to enjoy what he's reading. So here's some of the books. Let's see. We've got Listening to Crickets, A Llama in the Family, The Toothpaste Millionaire, About Average, McBroom's Wonderful 1 Acre Farm, Brindle. Of course, I don't know what order they read these in, but B is for Betsy. But you can see these are way more age appropriate, in my opinion. And when I say maturity level, I'm not talking about like inappropriate content. Just, the storylines need to be age appropriate. And he's a young, 3rd grader. I mean, he's got a September birthday, so he barely missed the cutoff anyway. So when we started working with him, he just kind of flew through the preschool stuff and then went straight into kindergarten and began reading. So he reads really well, but he wants to read picture books. He wants to read, you know, short readers. He doesn't want to read chapter books. So if I'm going to do chapter books and get him to where he's reading those, then the content needs to be something that's going to, you know, keep him interested and not bore him. So or have a vocabulary that's too advanced for him. So we have Ralph S. Mouse, The Whipping Boy, A Doctor Like Papa, King of the Mound, Emily's Runaway Imagination, anything Beverly Cleary is always great, Socks, another Beverly Cleary, one of my favorite authors when I was a kid, I just can't wait, Mr. Lemoncello's Library, Henry and Ribsy, another Beverly Cleary, The Children of Noisy Village, Misty of Shin, I don't even know how to say that, Mustang Wild Spirit of the West, because you figure this is a whole year's worth of content, a year's worth of reading material, and they will break it down into very, very manageable chunks. It seems overwhelming. It seems overwhelming when I get these every year, and it ends up not being at all. It really ends up not being at all. In fact, I usually have to hold him back. If he's reading a book and he's really interested in it and they want him to stop after, you know, 1 chapter or 2 chapters, then you know, he'll a lot of times want to just keep reading. So I just look at this in some ways as saving us a trip to the library. And these books are you know, the content in them, I don't have to worry about potty humor and inappropriate behavior and disrespecting adults. You know, I just really appreciate the content in these books from Bookshark. It's a sister company of Sunlight, so even though these are not faith-based books in and of themselves, there's still very wholesome content in them, and I have always really enjoyed them. So we're doing that again this year. Now, Beautiful Feet. Beautiful Feet is another literature-based history curriculum. Bookshark we did last year with World History Level 1, and I just find that world history is not as interesting to him as the American history. And there are 2 schools of thought with history, with teaching history to young students. And one is that you start with world history, and then you move to the American history, or you know, whatever country of origin you have. So the other school of thought is that kids relate, young kids especially, can it's hard for them to relate to the whole world, you know, and to the history of the world, but it's a lot easier for them to relate to the history of the country that they live in. And so we did try the world history because I just love the literature that comes with the Bookshark, but I was having a lot of trouble keeping his interest in it, and so and it's not the fault of the program. American history is way more interesting to him, and he asks me questions all the time about American history. So I decided this year to do Beautiful Feet. Their American history is from grade K through 3rd, is the recommended ages for their American history, this one. And when the Bookshark American history starts at level 3, which we're doing their level 3 science, but when I looked at the books that were included in the level 3 history, I just thought that they were too mature for him. So that's why we switched to Beautiful Feet for this. So it comes with this series of CDs. Looks like audio CDs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beyond the Horizon, The Disappearing Light, Mutiny of Alonzo, Columbus in Chains, Persecuted and Betrayed, The First Thanksgiving, America's Arch Hero Makes a Speech, Billy Scott Faces the Firing Squad. So very excited to get into those. The Year of the Horseless Carriage. Now, Beautiful Feet is a faith-based curriculum. The books themselves are not faith-based, so the charter allows us to use the books, but they won't do the instructor guide, which has the faith-based content in it, which ironically I'm pretty sure I saw the instructor guide in here. I think they ordered it by mistake, but normally we wouldn't get that. But they do let us use the books. So here are the books that are included. The Year of the Horseless Carriage, Matchlock Gun, Courage of Sarah Noble, Meet Abraham Lincoln, Squanto, Friend of the Pilgrims, Benjamin West and his cat Grimmelkin, Pilgrim Stories, George Washington's Breakfast. And see, I want to show you, like, level 3 didn't have this kind of content. See how many pictures there are? I just know from experience this is how I'm going to keep him engaged. He needs the pictures, even though it's not short on content. And he'll be able to read these with me. In fact, he'll retain what he reads way better than what I read to him. He's just such a visual kid. You know, it's cool that homeschooling allows you to really cater to your kids' learning styles. It's very important with this one for sure. Okay, there's a composition book here, and I'm not sure what that's going to be used for. I'm going to put that over here. All right, the Pilgrims of Plymouth. Now these, oh no, that one's not. Anyway, sorry. The Pilgrims of Plymouth, Adventures in Colonial America. I'll just see again, lots of pictures. Pictures, lots of pictures. Oh man, I'm just so excited. Even these have pictures. Now this one not as much, but uh-oh. See when that happens. Squanto. Love you too, baby. Come here. Pictures. Anyway, you get the picture. No pun intended. Alright, there we go. I'll move these out of the way. And we're not done. Adventures in Colonial America. It seems like this is possibly a series, maybe? Yeah, because this one is Adventures in Colonial America too. The Winter at Valley Forge, Jamestown, those are the only two that seem to be related. It looks like A More Perfect Union, Story of Our Constitution, Buffalo Bill. Now this is a series by these authors here. I'm not going to try to pronounce them, but there's lots of pictures in these, so I think these will be really engaging. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Leif the Lucky, Pocahontas, Benjamin Franklin, and Columbus. And again, they will you know, break these down into bite-sized chunks here in the instructor guide, which, you know, I think they ordered by accident. But this will definitely, step by step, give you what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to read. Like read pages 37 through 48 of Leif the Lucky, and then it gives you some questions here to discuss with your student. So that's cool. But now I wasn't expecting to get the instructor guide, so what I had opted to do is get this series of books from Timberdoodle. Alright, so this is a series of graphic novels, all for, of the history of the United States. The first 7 books cover the time period that Beautiful Feet covers in this particular course. The last 7 books we didn't need, but they wanted to go ahead and just order this as a set because it would be cheaper and they can keep these in their library. And these are graphic novels. So my son loves graphic novels, and so I thought this would be a way to chronologically tell the story as an overview, and then we could use the living books to dive in to the stories about the people as we come to them. So that was my plan for these, because I know the graphic novels will keep his attention. So IEW. Okay, writing is probably the hardest thing for me to teach, even at this level, because I honestly, it's hard for me to know what is considered age appropriate when it comes to writing. I mean, I know how to write. I don't have any hang-ups with writing for myself, but I don't know what level of expectation to have when it comes to writing. And Timberdoodle uses 6-trait writing. It's a Evan Moore, and we went through that. We went through a book 1 and started book 2, but I didn't do it right. I'm really bad about not looking at the teacher, the teacher portion of books like that, because at that level it's usually pretty self-explanatory. You don't really need it usually. But what I noticed as we went through that book was that we were doing all these workbook pages and the content was really good, but there was never ever actually any writing. Well, I guess if I had looked, every 5th lesson is an actual writing assignment based on the previous 4 workbook pages that we did. So needless to say, we're behind on writing. And so so I wanted IEW to come into play. But when I was looking at it, which the IEW Intensive A, I believe, is recommended for starting at about 3rd grade. And of course, we're going into mostly 3rd grade material here. And I know some people start it a little earlier if they feel like their child is ready, but I just did not feel like he was ready. So I found out that they actually offer some options for younger kids. So this is a 2nd grade level. And so it includes, I think you have to buy these separately because you can get PDF versions of these or the printed version, and so you just order the pieces separately. So this is the student resource packet. This is a required unit, although you can buy it in a PDF format. It also comes with the student book, which is actually a workbook that they can write in, or you can get a PDF version. And then it comes with the teacher's manual. And there's no DVDs with this. So they said that if you want to use this to go and look at some of their podcasts, I think it was, and there's, just listen to a few just so you get an idea of the philosophy and how they teach. Or if you have the DVDs, maybe from an older student, or you can borrow some, or you want to have them on hand for the future, listen to the first 2 or 3 DVDs, I guess they are. So anyway, so I've still got to dive into how this all works, but they're teaching the same concepts just at a more age appropriate level. So they have a source text that they read from. They list the keywords, which I think they just go in, they find like carpenters plan and build rooms. What word stands out to you? What is the key word from this sentence? And they might say carpenters, and then blah, and then they fill out the little outline and then have a little exercise. So with my very, very basic understanding of this program, that's how I think it works. But I've really got to learn it because I don't know it. But I'm hoping it will really help us with writing. Hello, this is Future Robbie here. I wanted to let you know why the video cut off kind of abruptly. I did try to film it all at once, and so the Timberdoodle portion was partially filmed before my video cut off. So rather than try to just splice 2 videos together here, I decided to go ahead and break it up into 2 videos anyway, just due to the length of it. There was a lot of material here to cover, and so I didn't want to make it too long. It's already long enough. So if you stuck with me this far, thank you so much for hanging in there. I hope you found it informative and helpful. And if you like this sort of thing, please subscribe to my channel, and I will be getting more content up soon. And then I will have also the part 2 for the Timberdoodle kit linked below. And so again, thanks so much for coming, and I'll talk to you soon.